under the UGG, who is required to review the salaries to federal awards after the fact?
Yeah, Jim.
Thanks, Cindy. I think that's a good question. I think I'd have to look at the details of this to see. It's clear that there is an expectation that is part of the, if you have budget estimates, again, that it has to be a reasonable approximation, that adjustments need to be made on a timely basis, and the third requirement is that you have internal controls to ensure that there's an after-the-fact review. I don't know whether it's explicit about who has to do that.
We lost that phrase, suitable means of verification.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
But is that good or bad? Is that good because now it could be certified by someone that doesn't have to document suitable means of verification, or is it more like, no, it really has to be the person, because there is no longer this, oh, well, if someone has suitable means of verification, they could do it. But there isn't there's not a certification required either.
That's right.
All of the references to signed reports and the employee must, you know, verify, that's gone. It's just, it's all internal controls.
But it doesn't mean you need to change what you're doing right now. And you, again, if you've got the procedures built in and the methodology, if it's not broke, why fix it? Again, the new policy has extended some latitude and liberalization to what you can do, but it's not a requirement. And
it's a good question.
Yes.
We'll have to wait for the auditors to tell us.
Well, we'll say, you know,
good.
we said in the FDP meeting, all of us on this panel, on Monday and Tuesday, and the question was asked to an audience of about 400 people, how many of you are planning to dismantle your effort reporting system? And no one raised their hand. Now, that's not because they wouldn't like to, or they might eventually make serious modifications, but I think this comes back to, we don't know what the risk associated with this is at this point.
Or as Jim said, try to, you know, keep the parts that help you in your management, and potentially strip down some of the stuff that doesn't make any sense anymore. Where we were all trying to hit a standard that was vague, and kind of the policy was made via audit. Now we've got some pretty clear definitions of what the framework looks like. Now you can make some modifications. It'll be really interesting if our cognizant agencies provide any insight. Right?
Yes.
When I go to submit my DS2 with a new process, and I refer to that, are they going to ask those questions? Are they going to require something? Or are they not? Right? Hard to say.
I'd suggest, since there was a very deliberate effort, no pun intended, to strip out the language of suitable means of verification, that does suggest a policy statement that if an institution wants to designate someone and there are internal controls in place, that would be a legitimate methodology. And I think, again, it's people, who goes first is going to be one of those interesting questions.
But again, who can ensure that it's a reasonable approximation? Who can be sure that it changes on a timely basis and so forth? So yeah, it'll be interesting.